Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Today I want to talk about Miss Georgia, I think is her name, Georgia Rose. She is really one of the only girly pops that is holding up the fat acceptance movement right now. Like I said, if you guys see anybody else on TikTok, please send them my way, especially somebody who's active, because I've noticed a lot of them are not anymore. But she is, and she is here to attack the big back trend. So I haven't watched this entire thing yet. I want to go ahead and let it play out completely, and then I will react. So one of you guys was like, I like it when you just react when you haven't watched it. So I'm like, okay, let's hope this is okay. All right, let's go. The comment on the TikTok says, I was at the river and heard a 10-ish-year-old tell her friend, your name in my phone is Big Back Rebecca, and then start doing TikTok dances. It was scary. Okay, it's really scary. I'm really shaking right now. So let's go ahead and hear what Georgia has to say.
This shit is so fucking wild to me because, like, since when is it okay to just completely degrade your fucking friends and then expect them to, like, go about business as usual? It is so insane to me, like, the lack of critical thinking here. And I think one comment that I got sums it up, and it was from a teacher who said, the issue here is that you use the phrase to insult each other. You use it specifically to hurt each other. That's the problem. And I've seen tons of teachers commenting saying that they're actually like banning it in their classrooms, which fucking please do. It's obviously not a good thing to call each other that. People who want to act like it's not fat shaming fucking are so out of touch. So fucking out of touch. You wouldn't like walk up to your like boss at work that you like respect and be like, you're big back, bitch. Like, no, that shit is so fucking insulting. That shit is insulting and you know it is. And it's insane the amount of sad comments that I've gotten on that video. This week I literally had a woman who lost her son, unalived himself, and she had to find him because of weight-related bullying. And he wasn't even like a plus size, like he was like 16 and he wasn't even plus size. The weight bullying that he was receiving, he couldn't take it. And she said she felt so fucking bad because she didn't take it seriously. She just didn't think it was that serious. And it truly is for some people. It truly is. And it's fucking sad. This shit is so fucking...
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to break it down piece by piece. Let's go ahead and go.
Wild to me because, like, since when is it okay to just completely degrade your fucking friends and then expect them to, like, go about business as usual? It is so...
That is so incredibly common. It happens all the time. It's called roasting. Roasting. You don't have any friends. Tell me you don't have any friends without telling me you don't have any friends. That's what I'm going to say. You don't have any best friends. You don't have any close friends. Your best friends, your close friends, you know, me and my friend Lisa, I think we just reached a new level because I literally told her, F you, Lisa. Like I said it flat out. I'm trying not to cuss. But when you can start doing stuff like that, it's a sign that you've gotten a lot closer as friends. It is like majorly a part of, especially best friendships, roasting. It's a thing. Okay? It's not necessarily a thing for every single person in the world. I get it. Some people are more sensitive or some people are just, you know, they just don't do that, basically. I get it. Especially a lot of girls don't do that. But, oh, honey, in boy world, it is major. And it definitely transfers over to the gay boy world. It definitely transfers to a lot of girl world. Not all of it. I wouldn't say the majority of it, but there's a lot of girls that also love to roast. Okay, I have a lot of girlfriends that do. I don't want to name names. But they do. It's common. I think part of growing up or understanding the world and life and all this stuff is, hey, some people approach friendships differently than you do. Some people approach relationships differently than you do. Some people approach a lot of things differently than you do. And that's okay. You don't have to do it. You don't have to like it. If you personally didn't like it, you could set a boundary, and that other person that's your friend can decide if that's an okay boundary or not. And if not, then you guys can stop being friends. Big whoop is very common.
So insane to me, like the lack of critical thinking here. And I think one comment that I got.
Not you bringing up critical thinking. You cannot even put yourself in the point of view of someone else. Even though I roast, especially Eric, I think me and Eric's entire friendship was built on roasting, the entire thing. Okay? I literally, when I first became friends with him, this is almost 10 years ago, I literally put his name, I think I named him Erica, and then I put an emoji of the guy kind of like this kind of, and then an eggplant emoji behind it. That was literally, I think we had just met, basically, or like maybe within a month. Like, we constantly roast each other. It's terrible. He just recently, and you want to talk about bullying, he recently was comparing me to Amanda Young in the Saw movies, and it's horrible. I hate him for it so much. But there are times where she gets so like overly reactive that it does apply. And I hate him. I hate it. I hate it. And it's the same thing with big back. If you're doing big back behavior, or if you are fat, if you're big back, it can hit. It's real. It's true. But it's funny because it's true. That's how roasting works. Okay? I can give you like really, really weird specific examples. I can give you like other types of examples. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's okay. It's fine. You don't have to do it. It's perfectly fine. But you're not any better because you don't. That's my problem. Okay.
Sums it up, and it was from a teacher who said, the issue here is that you use the phrase to insult each other. You use it specifically to hurt each other. That's the problem. And I've seen tons of teachers comment.
It depends. It depends on context. So obviously it could be used as an actual insult. I think if you were to say something like that to somebody you're not friends with, it could definitely be insulting. It could be. Sure. I think it's inappropriate. I saw another comment where they were saying a kid said it to them in public because of what was in their shopping cart. That's kind of rude. But kids sometimes say rude things. They have to be taught what's rude, what isn't, right? There's different lines. You don't necessarily say things to a stranger that you don't know how they're going to take it, that kind of thing. But it's a little difficult sometimes for kids to understand where the lines are. And I get that. But in terms of like best friendship and stuff like that, like you have to just see, like, is everybody laughing about it? Is the person who it's being said to laughing about it? There's just a lot of context that goes into it. You know, if somebody's like bursting into tears because they were called big back, well, yeah, that is to hurt somebody. But if they laugh about it or say something back, then it's not. So I just think I don't like the blanket statement of this. I think that's, you know, a lot of people call themselves big back to joke about themselves, to roast themselves. It's a huge trend. Obviously, it's not that big of a deal. In my opinion, it just really isn't.
Saying that they're actually like banning it in their classrooms, which fucking please do. It's obviously not a good thing.
Teachers are going to ban a lot of stuff in their classrooms. They always do. I don't know. It's like whatever. But I mean, we had rules too, but teachers are not usually seen as like the coolest person in the world. Typically, I'm not saying that all rules are bad or anything, but this is clearly like a social thing. It's not going to affect what kids do outside of the classroom, what kids do in private communication. It's not going to affect the possibility of notes passed in class if kids still do that. I don't know. I'm not aware. I'm not with it anymore. I'm in my 30s. I have the, I reserve the right to not be with it anymore. But the point is, they're still going to say it. Even if a teacher bans it in the classroom, it doesn't matter. That's not going to change anything.
To call each other that. People who want to act like it's not fat shaming fucking are so out of touch. So fucking out of touch.
This is what confuses me about her. Is it insulting to be called fat or is it not? Because what if somebody just said fat, 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 you're fat, you're fat? Then you'd say, oh no, that's empowering. That's an amazing thing to be called. That's the most wonderful thing ever. How is it any different from being called big backed? How? If you're not insulted if someone calls you fat, then why would you be insulted if someone called you big backed? Is it an insult to be fat or is it not? You can't have it both ways. You can't.
You can walk up to your boss at work that you respect and be like, you're big back, bitch. No, that shit is.
You wouldn't, but also that's not your best friend. It's a different context. It's totally different.
So fucking insulting. That shit is insulting and you know it is. And it's insane.
I just think I feel like you're playing dumb. I feel like you're playing games with context. I cannot personally believe that you're this socially clueless. I'm not going to believe that. I think that you're purposefully misconstruing what these types of situations are. You're not providing any nuance whatsoever because you have a personal issue being called big backed or something, which I'm not saying that I'm going to do it, but you coming this much, you saying this much against it, it makes me want to call you it. I'm not going to because, like I said, I'm in my 30s and I'm not going to do that because it's a little bit immature. Trying to be more mature these days. But what I will say is it makes me want to. And I'm sure a teenager sees you say it. Somebody commenter on TikTok, somebody on TikTok is going to see you come this far against it and they're going to want to call you it. It's just stupid. But you shouldn't be insulted by it since it's so great to be fat anyways, right? It's just stupid.
Amount of sad comments.
I don't even call people that. And now that you made this, I might call Eric big backed the next time I talk to him. I just might. So you actually inspired me. You just inspired me.
Comments that I've gotten on that video. This week I literally had a woman who lost her son, unalived himself, and she had to find him because of weight-related bullying. And he wasn't even a plus size.
I have a very hard time believing that somebody will do that just because of that. Okay? There's usually a lot of mental health issues that are involved in that kind of thing. I really have a hard time believing this story. I'm not going to say much else about it. I don't really appreciate her going there in this conversation because it is ridiculous, in my opinion, to say that the type of roasting that best friends do to each other will lead to dark things, we'll say. I think that that's way too much of a jump. There has to be a lot going on, usually complete ostracization, complete humiliation, right? There has to be some very, very severe bullying usually for it to get to that point. And calling somebody Big Back Rebecca in their phone, I'm sorry, but it's just way too much of a jump, in my opinion. That is not that big of a deal whatsoever. I mean, should I be crying every day because of the horrible contact photo Eric uses for me when I call? It's a picture of my face going like this and it's Mega Moon. No. It doesn't hurt when it's your friend. It just doesn't. I don't know how to explain that. Like I said, I just can't with this. Okay, I'm kind of exhausting myself. Let's see what else she has to say.
16 and he wasn't even plus size. The weight bullying that he was receiving, he couldn't take it. And she said she felt so fucking bad because she didn't take it seriously. She just didn't think it was that serious.
I personally have a hard time believing it was that serious too. That's my opinion. I think there were probably other issues going on. And a lot of times it can be a shock. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to talk about this too much, but I really do not agree that somebody saying, hey, your name in my phone is Big Back Rebecca, is going to lead to that. I just don't. I'm not seeing it. I think it's way too much of a conclusion to draw. It's way too far, in my opinion. It is way too far.
And it truly is for some people. It truly is. And it's fucking sad. This shit is so...
So, okay. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. I think the big back trend is kind of funny. I think a lot of times it's funny. Sometimes it's a little too much, but that's the same with any trend. It's not a big deal to me. I want to know if you guys think it's like bullying. Do you think it's bullying? I like the memes. Maybe I'll do a video responding or reacting to some of them, some of the big back trend. That might actually be a fun video. Maybe I'll do that next week. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Peace.